Today I'd like to talk to you about why we should build our boards like we brush our teeth. How many of you brush your teeth? Right, pretty much all of us. Do you give each tooth equal and individual attention, or do you sort of cluster them together for the greatest effect, like 5 seconds on the upper front side back left, 5 seconds on the upper back side back left, 5 seconds on the lower front side back left, lower back side back left, switch to the right, central parts, up and down, front and back. And how about your tongue? Do you brush your tongue? Poor thing, sometimes gets forgotten. Gosh, I hope not. Anyone give a little extra attention to your front teeth? I know I do. And why is this? Well, because that's what people see the most. That's what I see the most. I believe the part they play in my smile and the way in which I'm judged is pivotal, and I actually know it's true. Good teeth are reported to leave a lasting impression, suggest a good personality, and cause people to better trust those who have them. So right now you're probably thinking, is this talk about teeth? Wait, do my teeth look good? Am I even in the right place? To which my response is no, maybe, and yes. Today I want to talk with you about why we should build our boardrooms like we brush our teeth and how that will lead to more diverse and better boards. More specifically, I want to talk about how the practice of cluster hiring, increasingly common in academia, could be applied to filling board positions and eventually an entire board. So one thing about teeth is that they can mostly do their job well if one or two are missing. Kids deal with this all the time, and my grandma for that matter. But if you're missing a few or several, you really start to feel the effect. And if you're missing several of the same kind of teeth, say all of the molars or premolars or all of your incisors or canines, it's a real problem. Boards are no different, and I'll tell you why. When whole groups of people or whole areas of expertise are missing, it's going to be obvious. I believe that through the practice of cluster hiring, and we're going to use that term hiring for simplicity, even though most board members are volunteers. But through cluster hiring, you can resolve multiple good governance issues at once. You can be that creative organization that increases each board position's responsibility without increasing the time demands on their schedule. You can reduce board turnover by offering these individuals something more attractive than other organizations vying for their time. You can give back to these individuals in a way that will magnify your organizational gains. And you can do all of this in 3 easy steps. Brush, rinse, gargle. No, I'm just kidding. No, but really it is a simple 3-pronged approach. First, you need a fabulous startup package. This is the cluster. Start by getting the word out that you are looking for a group of about 3 people who represent a community committed to diversity and inclusion. And for now, we're talking specifically about diversity and diversifying your board. But later, I'll show you how we can both double down and expand upon this first step. So you get the word out that you are looking for a group of about 3 people who represent a community committed to diversity and inclusion, and you say, and you you really mean that this is a high priority for your organization and you intend for it to succeed. You ask individuals to self-select their group of 3. Gather their friends and their colleagues who fit the criteria together and join as a cohort. In my community, this could perhaps look like a cluster where there is a professor of minority studies, a leader from our local community center, and a minority-owned business owner. Now, they don't all need to be racial or ethnic minorities, but they do need to, at the very least, represent minorities and bring the expertise of a minority viewpoint to the table together with their other skill sets. So this is just an example of a cluster dynamic. And as you say, come to us as a cluster with your embedded sense of camaraderie, your shared purpose, and your experience, and we will amplify your voice and give you leadership opportunities and training at the same time. This is step 1, an actual, tangible, volunteer benefits package that onboards individuals with their peers and provides learning opportunities. Step 2 is mentorship. We know from research that mentorship is one of the most important factors for advancing careers in academia, and it has also proven critical in the evolution of women in the workforce. So why shouldn't we expect it to be important to other individuals in any professional capacity? With mentorship, every new person gets a board buddy and the chance to network more deeply and more broadly with other board members. In this second step, organizations should purposefully partner veteran board members with rookie board members. And there's an important strategy to that. Back to the tooth analogy, just like our big teeth push out our baby teeth, so do the veterans need to encourage and ignite the confidence and bring out the voice of these new board members. It is purposeful and engaging for the senior members of the board to have this responsibility, and it requires that the mentoring component is more sincere and personal. And now, not only do new board members have their cluster as a lateral support structure, they have their mentor as a vertical support structure, along with the staff members and the governance committee members championing this entire process. So step 1, onboard a cluster of subject matter experts in the field of diversity and inclusion. Step 2, nurture their growth and development through purposeful mentorships and training. And step 3, organization-wide intentional programming and operating procedures related to the experiences and the values of the cluster cohorts. Let me give you a few examples. Organizations that want to recruit more females to their board should strive to be the organization that appears in Working Mother magazine as a top place to work for women. Organizations like the one where I joined my first board of directors that are looking for individuals who have young children should strive to be the organization known for outstanding work-life balance and flexibility. And if you're looking for board members who represent diversity and inclusiveness, then be that in your everyday operating model. Another incredible tidbit we know from research is that if we do this, if we link the individuals to the operating model, we will realize the person-environment fit theory that says the unfolding of an employee's or a volunteer's development process is central to the interaction between the person and their work environment. So in step 3, we literally ignite the catalyst for both the individuals and the organization to flourish. And it all starts with a cluster. So why is this important to me? And why is it important to you? Well, let me ask you this. Why do we take care of our teeth? Yep, I'm back to the teeth. Well, we take care of them because we only get one round of practice before our daily care and attention to them really, really matters. We take care of them to prevent cracks and gaps and pain. And we take care of them so that the impressions we give to those we encounter are good ones, lasting ones. Organizations want these same things. You know, all of us take a turn at being a leader. All of us. It could be in our work life or personal life, but the opportunity and the need to steer a conversation, evoke action, and to make change of any kind is one that we all get to or have to experience. And when we do, when that moment arrives, it becomes clear that we need the people around us to move in the same direction, and we need to know exactly what direction that is. So we need people and we need a strategy. The magic of this strategy of cluster hiring is not just that you get people, but even better, you get people with a voice. And let me tell you why that is so important. That movement of people that I just mentioned, it's already happening. And some would say it is long overdue. Let me share some facts and figures with you. In my sector, the nonprofit sector, 1/3 of all boards have 0 minority representation. And almost half of all boards have less than 1/4 of their members representing racial and or ethnic minority backgrounds. In total, people of color make up just 16% of nonprofit board members, while they make up 40% of the U.S. population. Our boards are missing whole groups of people, whole groups of expertise, and it's not enough to strive for representative diversity. You know, diversity that mirrors the diversity of your community. No, what we need and what cluster hiring can bring is an integration and learning perspective that focuses on valuing diverse members of a workforce as contributing different beneficial perspectives that everyone can learn from. It's at this point in the process that we actually move through and from diversity as a focus to the broader impact of inclusion. Inclusion as a sense of efficacy, belonging, and value in a whole system. Recall a few minutes ago when I said, I'll show you how we could both double down and expand upon this first step? Well, let me do that now. In year 1 of a permanent cluster board hiring initiative, your organization focuses on diversity and inclusion. Year 2, you focus on a cluster of financial experts, but include diversity as a criteria of the cluster. Year 3, you focus on business leadership, again with diversity as a criteria, and then year 4, you focus on stewardship capabilities. These are examples, same rules. Because many boards have 4-year terms and at least 2 terms allowable as their governance model, this pattern will enable your organization to comfortably onboard 4 fully diverse and inclusive cohorts of capable individuals, while veteran members purposefully mentor and then slowly term off, only to repeat the cycle with a more diverse and inclusive body of individuals at the onset of the next process. In just 4 years, really a blink in the life cycle of an organization, you can completely change your culture and climate. I remember the first board position I ever took. I was in my mid-30s and I was asked to join a particular board of directors because I had a lot of relevant experience with the organization's target consumer market and with its mission and vision. I also had a lot of energy and ideas, but one thing I didn't have was significant leadership experience. And I certainly didn't have leadership experience when compared with the other board members, half of which were Ivy League professors and successful entrepreneurs, and the other half who held leadership positions at the largest for-profit organizations in town. Without leadership experience, I didn't have a voice. I mean, I did, but I didn't use it. So now that I've got time and experience under my feet, and now that I'm in a position to help recruit new people to the same board where I first became engaged with the nonprofit sector, now I want to seize my leadership moment to help improve the process, to recruit board members better, to find a way to not squander away 3 or 4 years, a whole board term of showing up, but doing and affecting very little. To gather and mentor talented individuals who have yet to find their voice, who haven't been given the tools to speak up with confidence and purpose, but who have all of the energy and ideas. Cluster hiring can do this, even when there's no pay incentive, and actually maybe especially where there is no pay incentive. We already know that board members beget new board members in part, or in some cases largely, based on their social connections. Well, by putting more emphasis on building an organization's social network through cluster hiring with a focus on diversity and inclusion, the natural tendency to recruit people around us actually becomes a benefit and a strength. When cluster hiring is implemented and when it works, it will mean a better board of directors, a better workplace, a better organization, and a better consumer, customer, or guest experience. There's a funny saying on the wall of my dentist's office that says, you don't have to brush all of your teeth, just the ones you want to keep. I think we could all stand to brush up on our governance practices, lest we lose some people who are really important to us and the organization's missions and visions that we represent. Thank you.